Jerry Mallory here for SB Nation and PrivateTrade.com. It's a slow part of the offseason. The draft is over, free agency. Not a ton of newsworthy things going on unless you're a fan of the New England Patriots. But in terms of the Lions, not a ton to talk about. The feeling and the vibe at Allen Park, downtown at Ford Field, it's all good news. The new players are great. Reggie Bush is great. And that's fine. I'm not here to rain on anyone's parade. But if you look back to last year, you want to learn lessons. 4-12 was horrible, and you want to do everything you can not to repeat that process. Well, there's one position on the field that I feel like they're giving the treatment that they gave to areas that were of need in 2012, but we didn't address it. You confused? What am I talking about? Well, let's break it down. Coming into last year, I think some of the biggest needs were a depth at safety, as well as a replacement for Jabez Best. So much so, Martin Mayhew, during one of his last interviews wrapping up the season, said that was his biggest mistake, not replacing Jabez Best last year. That element of speed in the backfield, they didn't go after it in the draft nor free agency, and they came back to hunt him on the offensive end, and we saw what happened at safety. In my opinion, it was the worst unit offensively or defensively last year. If they do this year, they went out and they addressed those needs. Reggie Bush, Glover Quinn, those two guys alone are going to make any offensive defense much better. But I think if we're looking at our linebackers, outside linebackers, playmaking linebackers, we may be headed into this season saying the same thing. This is a big need, and we didn't really address it. Nothing against Tahir Whitehead, nothing against Travis Lewis or Ashley Palmer. These guys are young, unproven. Palmer's a veteran who has some starting experience, but I'd be a lot more comfortable if in this competition for an outside linebacker we had someone that was more of a sure thing. Maybe we addressed it in the draft. That's not a sure thing, but it's a young prospect in the first or second round, someone that you say he probably will step in. So here's the deal. There's guys that I think we could have talked to, looked at. I didn't hear anything about. You got Sean Phillips. Now, he wanted to play for a contender. He took less money, fewer years to go to Denver. And he plays a 3-4. I get it. The next person I'm going to name plays a 3-4 also. These are football players. I know you got scheme and you got guys who, they're this size. They can't play 4-3 linebacker. I don't care. Here's someone that had 9.5 sacks last year. At his age, he's not going to ask to break the bank. He's not looking for that big, huge deal. Give him a phone call. See if you can lure him away. Less likely. Now, someone that was probably more likely is Connor Barwin. He has Detroit ties. He played football right here at Michigan. Didn't hear anything about us addressing him, calling him, searching him out. Another person, he's young, but he could have been had a bargain deal. He only had, 3.5 sacks last year? The year before, though, he had over 11 sacks. Bring him back home. Have that fearsome defensive line in front of him, and maybe he can make some things happen. Again, he's someone that played the 3-4, but these are football players. You get so tied up in scheme and what position or what scheme a player plays. They play the game of football. They play outside linebacker, whether it's 3-4 or 4-3. I'd be a lot more comfortable with a guy like Barwin lining up at linebacker position, getting in there and getting a few sacks. I guarantee you. He's going to go over there to Philadelphia, and he's going to get more than the 3.5 sacks that he had in 2012. And then, of course, there's the NFL draft. Now, of all the linebackers, Jarvis Jones, he had all those sacks. You can't draft him at 5, can you? With the stenosis, it's highly unlikely. But what about trading down? They explore that? Possibly. Second, third round, there were guys available. Again, I don't have all the answers. All I know is this. I watched last year. The few times we did blitz our linebackers, it's one thing not to bring the quarterback down, but to not even create any pressure is inexcusable. Watching guys like Justin Durant with stone hands dropping surefire interceptions is inexcusable. The production at linebacker has been pathetic. Stephen Tulloch, surprisingly to many of us, made the top 100. He's a good tackler, a sure tackler. He's in the middle. He's stout. He's the captain, the leader of your team. That's great. Looking at DeAndre Levy, looking at 2 second-year guys and a journeyman like Ashley Palmer surrounding Tulloch, this could again be another area. I don't want to hear about scheme. Don't tell me about wide nine. The linebackers are used to fill the gaps. They're, because the defensive line is so wide, they're like placeholders. No. You need playmakers on all levels of the field. And I just hope the Lions aren't looking at their linebacking core and saying the same things they said in 2012. We didn't address the speedy running back. We didn't address the safety position. We'll have to wait and see. Do you agree? Am I overreacting? Are you fine with the linebackers? Is there a position of need that you think we didn't address that we should have? As always, leave your comments, questions, concerns at the allocated portion, at the end of the video. Not during, not in the middle, not at the beginning. You listen to me, then you leave your thoughts. Of course, subscribe if you haven't. Shame on you. We'll look forward to hearing from you more often. And we're going to have a new feature coming up. Some of the guys over at Private Detroit, such as CLF, they say, hey, we want to be a part of this thing. We want to get our opinions and views heard and listened to. So it's coming. By all means, I want everyone to participate. Private Detroiters, guys that watch exclusively on YouTube. I appreciate all the views, and I want to get you involved. So any ideas you have, feel free to shoot. All right, that's going to do it. I'll be back soon. As always, I'm going to thank you for watching. This has been Jerry Mallory for SB Nation, PrivateDetroit.com, and I'll see you soon.